The Bert Show.
So that blind date I was telling you guys about last week happened over the weekend with my friend that was using a publicity photo online from 10 years ago. They met up. I'll tell you what happened here in just a second. But I'm wondering if it's even too early to ask a question like this. What is the quickest that you ended the date? So you guys showed up. He said something or she said something like almost off the bat. Or they didn't look like they were supposed to. So you just got up and left. 1-855-BERT Show. It's super early. I don't even know if we got anybody listening right now. But I remember specifically a girl that I dated a long time ago said that she went out with some guy and they had ordered appetizers. So they might have been with each other for 10 minutes. And he said something so conservative and she's so liberal that she literally got up and said, this is never going to work. And that was like 10 minutes into the date.
I'm impressed that she's able to do that because I would just suck it up.
I would gut it out also.
As the people pleaser in me is like, well, maybe that was just a one-off. I keep making excuses for the person and we would be in it for the long haul.
Yes, and I think I said this last week also that I didn't know how to get out of a bad date, so I was just sitting there gutting it out with that big clock in my head going, tick, tick, you're never going to get this time back, but
tick,
but you're
tick.
a people pleaser, tick, tick, tick. Mo, what is the quickest you ever left a date?
I think about 30 minutes.
30?
Yeah. I had a couple drinks and had my brother call and make up an emergency.
Oh, all right. So you had that premeditated.
Yeah, I couldn't do it on my own. Just it's not working for me. I'm out, and I couldn't do that.
Did she buy it?
She didn't say she didn't, but I don't know. I doubt it, but she didn't say anything about it, so, I mean, it worked.
I think it's the unknown. Just we both know what's going on here.
Like deep down, and you're just going to embrace it and be like, she probably was like, yeah, it wasn't working for either one of us, so at least he manned up.
Yeah.
I mean, you really do know in the first couple of minutes of a date if this is going to work out or not. So, God, I just wish it was socially... I wish we were all mature enough to just go, hey, you know and I know this ain't going to work, so let's just go do something else tonight. Go ahead. I'm sure you got friends to call.
You like Topgolf? You hit some golf balls or something?
I'm sure you have a catch a few.
Yeah. I can't think of a single time that I left. Like, they started doing the red flags, but I just sat there and dealt with it and then argued about the check and the whole thing and got away. But it's like 45 minutes that I wasted in my life.
Yeah. Now, and I would say this. When I was dating, I don't think I can ever recall really having a bad first date. It's just that I knew it wasn't going to work first date. So I'm looking at my life right now, and it's probably a week of dates where I wish if we were mature enough in the first 10 minutes, I could have gone, this ain't going to work. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
I think women are more like, I'm going to get murdered. If I'm honest with this guy right now. Guys are more like, ew, she doesn't look like what I thought she was going to look like. And women are like, I'm going to get murdered tonight if I'm honest with this man.
Hey, Linda, good morning. You're on the Bert Show.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. All right. At this point, you hold the record for just showing up to a date and going, nah, and then taking off.
Yeah, I was just like, wow. I looked at him. I was like, are you for real right now? And he was like, yes, totally. He was like, I'm just being honest and upfront.
What happened?
I met this guy on Plenty of Fish, and we were talking for like a while, back and forth for like maybe a month. And then he finally asked me out, and so we met up at the Applebee's right there in Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, wow, you're so much more beautiful in person and yada, yada. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And he's like, well, I'm buying dinner, so I guess that means we're having sex later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, you got him off Plenty of Fish?
I was like, wow. No, I don't think so. And I just got up and left.
Yeah, that would too.
That's another way to ruin it pretty quick.
Was he joking?
Yeah,
Was it just a
like,
bad...
I'm kind of worth more than dinner.
Was it just a bad joke?
No, he was dead serious because he continued to message me and, like, text me for quite some time, like, after that.
Well, I want to take the other side of this. I mean, he did take you to Applebee's.
You were eating good in the neighborhood. Hello.
Yeah, I think maybe he deserved it. You're rude.
A couple of those Long Island iced teas.
Just kidding, Linda. Thank you for calling.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
See, that, like, they waited until the end for me. So you waste 30 minutes on the date, and then you argue about, I'm paying my own. And they're like, no, you're not. You come home with me. And I'm like, what kind of service is this? What kind of transaction is this? What are you going to get? Nothing. I'm paying for my own meal.
That should be Applebee's slogan. Bring her here, and it's a sure thing.
I'd go a lot more.
Hey, Alan, good morning. All right, what is the record here for you getting up and going, no?
20 minutes.
20 minutes, and what happened?
Well, met a girl online. This is my when I was single years. Pictures looked fine. She was a very pretty girl. Anyway, we met up in person. Yeah, she showed up, and she was nowhere near what she looked like in the pictures.
So how do you get out of that, though? I mean, what are you going to say?
Well, I didn't want to be the complete, jerk.
Right.
So I hurried and ate that food really quickly and come up with a story and said my son got stung by a yellow jacket and I had to go. I just didn't even wait for the response, and I just jumped in the car and left.
So that is going to be the question that we ask later on. Like, what excuse did you use in the middle of the date to get out? And this is going to be the one that we use right here. Yeah, my son just got bit by a yellow jacket. Got to get out of here.
That is my favorite. Most people have to fake diarrhea, but you could start blaming bee stings on your kid. That's amazing.
So how different did she look from her profile pic?
Profile pic, she was, let's say she was probably a 6, 7.
Okay.
Well, her in person was probably a 4 plus 300 pounds.
Okay.
Man.
All right. So you both finished your meals, and then you told her that, hey, I got the yellow jacket problem. I got to get out of here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I don't quite believed it, but
you don't care. It just got you out of there.
Yeah, I had to get out of there.
All right. So let me tell you guys what happened this weekend. This is almost like right out of a movie, you guys. So I don't know if you were listening to the show on Friday, but in the entertainment world, it doesn't matter if you're in TV, movies, radio. We take these publicity photos, right?
Headshots.
And we take them all the time here because people can come from come and go from the show. So we're taking group shots all the time, and we get to freshen ours up, right? But there are some whose company don't afford that, or they just can't afford it. So they'll use their publicity photo that they had from 10, 12 years ago. So my DJ friend, that's exactly what he was doing this weekend. He'd been chatting with a girl online, and they decided that they were going to meet up. And he was using his publicity photo from 12 years ago. And he looks 12 years older. I mean, deeply 12 years older.
It was a hard 12 years.
Bruh, you know now that radio ages you fast, and you got to get up this early in the morning.
It's a dyslexic 12 years. It's actually, he aged 21 years.
So get the beauty of this. My friend is so honest that he calls her and he goes, I just want to be honest with you because this may be really uncomfortable when we show up tonight. The pictures that I've been using are about a decade old, and I've got a decade of age underneath my belt here. And if you don't want to do this, that's fine. So she sounded a little disappointed, he said, on the phone, but she's like, well, will you send me a picture now, like a real picture?
Just take a selfie.
Take a selfie now and just send me what it is, and we'll be honest about it, right? So he sends her the selfie, and she immediately writes back, and she's like, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and have drinks. So he shows up, and you guys get this. So she worked for a marketing firm for 10 to 15 years and had publicity photos made about 7 years ago, and she's been using old photos also. So she didn't look really like she did in the photos either, so she got there and didn't want to tell him on the phone. So she gets there, and she doesn't look like she did 7 years ago also, so she was totally cool with it because she wasn't sure how she was going to tell him either that the pictures I'm sending you don't look like me at all.
They're a match made in heaven.
They were a match made in heaven. So he said it was probably the best date that he's had in years and years and years, and it was all based on 2 lies. I thought, fantastic. All right, we don't got beds. We got computer problems already this morning. So Entertainment Buzz is coming up next.
All right, Roseanne sobs while apologizing for what she calls her non-racist tweet in your next Entertainment Buzz.
The Bert Show.